If you want to hear the outcome of my battle of the brands when it comes to setting sprays, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène with another video, and today we are talking setting sprays. A lot of setting sprays. I cannot believe this was introduced February 12th. I let you know that I was going to do a testing of a ton of setting sprays. A total of 11 setting sprays. So almost 4 months. But if you really think about it, if I have 11 setting sprays and I'm using roughly 100 days to do the testing, that's around 10 days per setting spray. So it really does take that long for me to have a really good feel for what my preferences are and why. And so I wanted to go over my favorites, my not so favorites, and talk about benefits, drawbacks of all these setting sprays and why they ranked how they ranked in my view. And so I ranked the 11 best to worst, and it's best to worst. I want to be very careful in how I say this. It doesn't mean the first one is amazing, great on every level, and that the last one completely sucks. I'm not going to say that. They have various attributes, and a lot of them in the middle are very, 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 very close. And so I want to share my ranking, want to share my rationale, and you make up your own mind as far as what the sprays are like, and maybe I can compare and contrast, and it may give you an idea if you have a setting spray that you really like and you want to branch out, what other setting sprays might be in the kind of in the vicinity of what you're already using, and that you're more likely to appreciate your purchase, if that makes sense. So like I said, 11 to go, and I'm going to start with, do I start with least or most? I think I'm going to start with least, and we'll work up to number 1. How's that? Yeah? Okay, so let's start with the first one. And in context as well, I did a pricing comparison of price per 100 ml of all of these different brands. So the value for dollar also factored into the ranking. So it's not just the product in and of itself, but is it really worth it if one product is twice or triple the price of another one? Is it really that much better? My least favorite, and I'm not happy because I have a lot left, but it's this Fresh and Go hydrating spray from Joe Fresh. I don't know if it's discontinued or not, but it is the cheapest, pretty sure, yeah, cheapest. It is $10 per 100 ml, regular price, and it comes in 100 ml or 3.4 ounce bottles. The sprayer is okay, nothing to write home about. The smell is not great. I find it kind of industrial almost, and it's for prepping and priming the face, and basically a setting spray as well. So prep and prime. The component is fine. I don't like the smell. The sprayer is fine. The smell is what is the most off-putting for me, and it really makes me reluctant to use it. I think probably the best time for me to use it is when I have a cold or something, when I can't smell it. But anyway, that was my bottom one, so it's at number 11. Next one is going to be a shocker, and it is at number 10, and I think it's at number 10 because I feel like it's in the wrong category, and that is the Caudalie Eau de Beauté. And the reason I feel like it's in the wrong category is I think that this is more of a spray, in my opinion, for when you're not really wearing makeup, but you want to have that fresh face feeling. And I do use it for that. I find it more of a relaxing spray as opposed to a spray that is going to set and lock my makeup for the day. I love the experience, don't get me wrong, but I do think it's in the wrong category, and it's a spray that is very often included in with setting sprays, and I just don't see the fit. It is also the most expensive at $59 per 100 ml. Again, do I love it? Yes, but I was comparing it to setting sprays, and I just don't, I think it's just the black sheep. It just doesn't fit in this category. It fits to me more like the experience of a perfume. It's a beautiful fragrance. It makes you feel refreshed. And yeah, and it says smoothing, glowing complexion. I mean, it really is more of a judging of your natural beauty, I think. So that's why it's at number 10. The expense and the ill fit in this category. Now I'm at number 9, and this is the NYX Dewy Finish. Now I had the matte finish and I had the dewy finish. I have more recently used this one. I really enjoyed the matte spray, no problem. I like this one as well. I'm just not super jazzed about the bottle. It comes out as the third and fourth, neck and neck as far as the price per 100 mil, and the price per 100 mil is $16.65 per 100 mil is the price of the NYX. It's fine. The sprayer's fine. The smell is very mild. There's nothing off-putting about it, and the matte one is the same. The matte one does mattify. This one does leave you a little bit more dewy, but not greasy. Although I have dry combo skin, so take that for what it's worth. It was fine. It was definitely better than the Joe Fresh, but I think just, this is going to sound petty. The design of the bottle doesn't really interest me. For travel, it's great. It's a good size, but I'm just kind of meh about it. Will I finish it? Yes, it's fine. But it's not memorable, both the matte and the dewy. If it's on super sale, 50% off, okay, I'll probably buy it, but it's not one that I would seek out at all. In 8th place, I have the Rainforest of the Sea 4-in-1 Setting Mist by Tarte. And I had 2 of these, so don't let this small size fool you. I used 2 of them completely. I have to say, and I think there's just a little bit left in the bottom here, the smell is divine, absolutely divine. It's kind of up there with the Caudalie Eau de Beauté. I really, really, really enjoy this. It is super, super luxe. I just can't stomach the price for it. The price for this one is second last, so it's just behind Caudalie, and it is $40.54 for 100 ml. $40 for a third of a cup, or just over a third of a cup of product. It's just so much money. So again, I would put this more in the luxury, use it once in a while category, but I would not use this as a daily setting spray. It just would feel like flushing money down the toilet. So yes, if I were to consider this one, it would be in comparison to Caudalie. And so it's just a little bit cheaper, although I think Caudalie just feels a little bit more luxe to me. But that is why it's in number 8. It is a beautiful product, just too much for my bank account. At number 7, we have the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1. I don't mind this. It is called the Replenishing Primer and Setting Spray. So 3-in-1 for good reason. You can prime your face, set your face, and refresh your face throughout the day. And you do have to kind of shake it, as far as I'm concerned, just for the smell to be cohesive. And the spray is fine. Kind of a very nice mist. I had no problem with it. And the thing with it, though, is the smell. I actually don't mind it, but I could see how some people would feel like it's a rancid coconut smell and not a fresh coconut smell. And so it leaves me wondering, will I continue to use it? Yeah, I actually used it quite a bit. There's not much left in the bottle. I enjoyed it, but it's middle of the pack just because that smell makes me wonder every time. Is it a pleasure to use morning and during the day if I want to refresh? Absolutely. I did find it quite hydrating and ended up using it as a combo with another product that I'll show you later on in this countdown. The price per 100 ml on this one is $33.33. So $33 per 100 ml on this one. Next up is a very nice surprise from the drugstore, and that is the Maybelline Master Fix. And this is the second least expensive product at number 6, and it is $16.65. Am I right? No, $15.99. $15.99 per 100 ml, regular price. And it also, again, has a nice mister. Very similar to the NYX or the Hangover 3-in-1. Actually, I think NYX was a little, I'm lying here. Oh no, yeah, very similar to the NYX as well. But it's the smell that I like. I'm going to spray this again. I'm going to have so much setting spray. If you are sensitive to scents, it is so mild. It is really, really pleasant, but very, very mild. And I really am impressed with this one. I do have a backup of this one from way, way, way ago. It's not during my no-buy, don't come at me. But I really did enjoy it. It was on super, super sale at some point, and so I grabbed, I think I grabbed a total of 4 because they were clearing them out, and they were ridiculously cheap. But anyway, I have 1.5 left. And though it's the setting spray that I've used the most so far, I really did rank it compared to all these other setting sprays that I've tried since. And for the price, I can say that I will definitely, I won't say definitely, probably always have one of these in case I run out of other setting sprays, or I want to use a cheaper setting spray for whatever reason, because it's such good value. Not my favorite, that's why it's in the middle of the pack, but a very, very notable option for a number of reasons. Price, low smell level, scent level, and the sprayer. I mean, there's a lot that's very, very good about this product. And you'll notice that I'm not talking about makeup wear with these setting sprays, and I'm really sorry that I can't do that. The only thing I ever notice about setting sprays is how it just kind of helps my makeup blend together. I just don't see the impact of setting sprays on longevity. I can see having a setting spray on the go if you repowder and you want to kind of have the powder again meld into your makeup, but I just don't understand setting sprays for longevity. And maybe the Huda Beauty new spray that's basically hairspray for your face, maybe that's in a different category for setting the makeup. Not setting, pardon me, for wear, longevity of the makeup, but I just don't see that as a characteristic of setting spray. And that's just my experience, and maybe I'm ignorant of what to look for. It just wasn't a characteristic of a spray that I was looking at for this Battle of the Brands. So just putting it out there. And like I said, $15.99. It's second in line after Joe Fresh for value, as in value per cost per 100 ml, not value. Cost per 100 ml, because cost is only one aspect. Next up, we're at number 5. 5 is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I actually find this a little bit expensive for the product, and also am really peeved because they have it as 2.8 ounces, but they're not fluid ounces, they're weight ounces, and all the other sprays are fluid ounces. I cannot tell you where this ranks. So I have crowbarred it in by using the weight ounces in comparison to fluid ounces, but I really don't know. It's like the black sheep because I don't know where it fits. So if you use these as weight ounces as being the same thing as fluid ounces, which we know it's not, it ranks at right in the middle at $25.19 per ounce. I have not finished. This is my first bottle. I have another one. I have not finished it yet. Definitely the mister on this out of all of them is the best. If you don't want to have little droplets on your face, this is the best one. It's, as it says, it's continuous mist, and it's very, very fine. Very, very fine. But I don't like the smell. It sort of smells like a mild hairspray. It's got a perfumey smell that I don't care for, and so I use it because I really like the mist. I definitely don't use it for the smell experience. And if the fragrance were more in line with the All Nighter, Caudalie, the Tarte Setting Mist, Master Fix, Max Prep and Prime, or Fix Plus, I would have ranked this far higher than I have. So if you're looking for a super fine mist that you can barely feel because you find that setting sprays leave dots on your face, this would probably be the product for you, as long as you are not sensitive to fragrance sensitive to fragrance first off, and then the second one is really put off by fragrances you don't love. So that is why it is number 5. At number 4 out of 11 is Cover FX. And Cover FX, I love a lot about this setting spray, and I'm going to just mist it for you. Very fine mist. I would argue it's neck and neck with Morphe, but better. I don't mind. It has a really, really mild smell. If you are sensitive to smells, this one's probably pretty good. You want to, I hope I don't have bright dots. Oh, I didn't realize I had little dots all over my face. My mascara is getting very, very dry, and it's leaving little dots on my face after about 15-20 minutes of blinking with it dry. So my apologies if you've been watching all these little black dots on my face. Let's get back to Cover FX. So it is, you do have to shake this bottle because it will leave some shiny little dots on your face if you don't shake it. At least that's been my experience. But if you are super sensitive to scents, this one, it's not unscented, but it's very, very mild. And I really do love that about it. It is on the more expensive side. This is 120 ml, and it's right a little bit more expensive than the Morphe at $32.50 per 100 ml. So that's the price there, about double what you would pay at the drugstore. And yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. And this one is specifically the high performance setting spray. There are a number of different types from the Cover FX, but I didn't want to go into specialty sprays so much because I was just basically testing setting sprays. So I didn't want to go for shiny or I didn't want to go for specific categories. And I thought high performance was kind of middle of the road enough to be part of this this battle of the brands. So yes, really enjoy. Very, very mild, great mister, feels great. Don't know what else to say. Oh, and I don't mind that it's Canadian. And another product with Canadian roots is the next one, unless you may not have known that. MAC was actually started in Canada, and it is the Max. It's the MAC Fix Plus. And I have a little guy, but as you can see, I used quite a bit. And this one is 30 ml, but the full size and all the prices, the per 100 ml that I quote, those are all based on full size products, not minis. The MAC is $31, and right in the middle of the pack again. I was really delighted by this one. It has a very nice mister again. The smell is very pleasant. It's mild. It's not off-putting. I was really happy the first time I used it, delighted actually. And I did try the whole wetting of the brush thing with setting sprays, and I have to admit, I don't get it. When I want to apply a shadow, I'll use my finger, and I find that works the absolute best. I don't understand how setting sprays help wet the brush to go into powders, and you know what, maybe it's just seeing somebody do it up close in real life will help me understand this, but I used it, I think I did this twice, and I just don't get it. That total sidebar. I really enjoyed this product. Like I said, middle of the road in pricing. Love the mister. I do really like the bottle as well. I think that it's very easy to hold in the hand. It's very nice feeling on the hand for misting, and the full size is not much bigger than this as far as the component, the girth of the component. Yeah, I really enjoy it. Yeah, I can understand why it's a cult favorite, and that's why it made it to number 3. Now this one is a bit of a surprise, and this one came in the Sex on the Peach set from Too Faced, and it is this peach mist. And you have to shake it. And you can see it says, "Shake me, baby," because you're going to have little bright spots if you don't shake it. And it's a very nice spray again. Very nice mist. And it has a definite peach scent. If you do not like peach scent, and it's a very nice peach scent, it's not really the really fake, gross one, in my opinion. And it's a mattifying setting spray. So I was using this one because I have dry skin on the periphery of my face. I was using it just in the T-zone, right in the middle of the face, and pairing it up with the Hangover RX on the periphery of my face. And I felt like the two worked really well. But by far, obviously, if this one was in the second place and this one is kind of middle of the pack, by far I like this one. Now I can only use it really, like I said, in the T-zone, but really for me, that's where makeup breaks up anyway. So I can use this in the T-zone and then use a really cheap setting spray on the outside of my face just to get the powder in to the skin. And hopefully, if it does do what it's supposed to, by mattifying my skin in my oily area, it's probably going to increase the longevity of my makeup. It makes sense if it's preventing oil from interfering with the makeup. I like everything about this spray, really. The only thing is I can't use it on the dry areas of my face, but apart from that, it's a really beautiful experience using it, and it's not just a nice, refreshing fragrance, but it also has makeup setting properties as well, so I really quite like it. But it's expensive. This one is $33.33, so it's a few dollars more than the mid-range. And so use expensive with a grain of salt. It's a few more dollars than the mid-range products that are all high-end. But yeah, I have to say this was a delightful surprise. It's a lot less, with a beautiful fragrance, it's a lot less than the Tarte 4-in-1 Setting Mist, which that one is $40.54 per 100 ml. So that's like almost $10 more. Let's see here. $7 more. Per 100 ml. So that makes a pretty big difference. So anyway, that is why it is at number 2. It was a shock, actually. It was a real big surprise how much I like this product, and that's why it ranked so high. If you have like full face oily skin, you may really like this as long as you like scents. And I would strongly suggest for any of these setting sprays where I've said there's a strong smell, that you go and try out a tester before committing to the full bottle, because you'll be very sad if you have a full bottle of setting spray and you're put off by it, because it's a lot of money to spend. And finally, I did go through almost 2 of these little bottles, and that is the Urban Decay All Nighter. I really like this setting spray. Again, most of these, not all, but most of these were really nice misters. There we go. Very fine mist again, but it's the very mild, it's like a mild, fresh scent. It's not, it's almost indescript. I can't even describe what the smell is, but it's a very pleasant smell. It's a clean smell, but has a little bit of a pretty smell to it as well. And again, quite mild. It's not overpowering like some of the other setting sprays that I was talking about earlier. It's, I don't know how to explain it. It was just, okay, this is a criterion I did not talk about. If I was going default into the setting sprays, this is the top one that I was reaching for by default. And that gave me pause. And it gave me pause because it's by far not the first setting spray that I've ever used. It's not the setting spray that I've used the most by any means, but there was something about it that made me go back time and time again. And actually, this one too. So the MAC Fix Plus as well. Just for some reason, not as much as this one. And so I had to put it in first place because I really enjoyed using it. Now, I do wonder, is it because it was a small bottle? That's possible that it had an impact. But the experience overall of using this product for the price, so the all-nighter is $33.32 per 100 ml compared to the Tarte 4-in-1 Rainforest of the Sea, which is $40.54. So it's $6 less per 100 ml. Or yeah, $6 less is still significant. And also something else that I wanted to keep in mind too with this one is that around Christmas time, they come in 2-for-1s, and that did impact my view of this setting spray, is that if you are careful on when you buy this setting spray from Urban Decay or from Sephora, wherever it's sold, and you're selective, you can get it for drugstore pricing. And so the value of this one compared to some of the other setting sprays, I just felt was superior. And it's not the case for a lot of the other setting sprays that are in the top 6. Let's see here. Yeah, it's not the case for the other setting sprays. So I am pretty sure that also went into my consideration for this setting spray. But overall, it's really delightful. Yeah, I think that's it as far as these setting sprays go. I still feel funny that it's number 1, but it's undeniable. I don't know what else to say. It's just I'm going for it. And it makes me curious about the anti-pollution one that I may want to try as well. And these little samples come along on a regular basis. So if you have a chance to try this one also comes out as a sample on a regular basis. I would highly recommend that you give this one a try, especially if you don't really use setting sprays, to just get a feel for it. But yeah, that is the deal with all of these, 11 in total. I hope you found this summary of my experience with this Battle of the Brands useful in some way, shape, or form. That's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every time. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.